another week, boys, and another TWAB. This week in Destiny, we're talking PvP with a few updates from the PvP Strike team. We've also got an adorable new friend joining us on the helm, and we're commemorating the occasion with a new Bungie Reward item. There's a little something for everyone this week, so let's hop in. So topics for this week: PvP Strike team update, exotic class item overthrow drop, tuning updates, a new attunement option for Brave Arsenal weapons, Destiny art show, Bungie Foundation tournament finale live stream, Bungie Rewards, Captain Jacobson pin, our favorite hashtag build of the week, and the final shape cinematic blooper. All right, so from the PvP Strike team update, State of the Crucible. Hello everyone, it's the PvP Strike team here with our pre 8.0.5 check-in. We have a bunch of stuff we want to talk about today, but if you're short on time and just want the high-level bullets, here's a quick summary of the changes we'll be covering today. So changes coming in the August 8.0.5 update. This is actually when like all the big sandbox stuff is coming. General Crucible, 6v6 map weighting. Increase weighting of popular maps, decrease weighting of unpopular options. Improve lobby balancing. Move to our second variant of Snake Draft with improved systems for dealing with fire teams. Update quitter systems. The systems should be more lenient for players who rarely quit or get disconnected, but much more restrictive for habitual quitters. And then sandbox balance. PvP nerfs to Threat Spectre and swarm grenades. All right. Yeah, and for those that don't know, Bungie did an entire, I can't remember how many TWABs ago it was, but they like did an entire spreadsheet showing how they do their different draft systems. But you know, I kind of like what they showed us. Now, whether or not it actually works, considering that the population inside of Crucible does, you know, dip and also peaks at different moments. So, you know, I like that they're actually going to be making these adjustments though, and we're about at that mid to later portion of the episode. Now, Trials of Osiris, passage and persistence update for trios. While in a third-person fire team, losses will not remove a win from this passage. Competitive class, reducing the score to win to bring match times closer to our 8-minute target. Collision, improve spawning logic. Iron Banner, temporarily remove tribute for additional improvements. Oh, looking to address things like semi-random bank locations and kills not providing points. Want to keep reading, get into the weeds, let's roll. So General Crucible. I want to start with the general State of the Crucible discussion to recap some changes. We have some separated by playlists in the last few months that you have missed, and to talk about where we're going from here. So over the past few months, we made several updates to Crucible with improvements, rewards, and quality of life passes on all maps. Increased the base end of match rewards, including more glimmer, higher chances for enhancement cores, Crucible Ingrams. We also created a double reward booster for PvP. Spawning, zone, and heavy ammo locations, quality of life passes on all maps. This includes removing all background spawns from the Citadel, Cathedral of Dust, Disjunction, and Convergence for non-Rift modes, which allows the map to play 30 to 50% smaller than before. Now, map weighting. We have heard your requests for updated map weightings in our 6v6 playlist. Generally, we want to keep all maps as evenly weighted as possible to ensure that you get to play on a variety of maps, and we want to avoid removing maps from rotation whenever possible. However, we do acknowledge that players still prefer playing on popular maps more often. As such, in 8.0.5, we are making a change to increase the weight for Javelin, Burnout, Endless Veil, Cirrus Plaza, Dissonance, and Eventide Lapse. But we're reducing the weight for Disjunction, Cathedral of Dust, Convergence, Twilight Gap, Exodus Blue. Really? Y'all don't like those maps? The hell's wrong with y'all? Okay, yeah, I'm whatever about Twilight Gap. I like Convergence, and I like Exodus Blue. I think those are good maps. All right. Now, Dead Cliffs is currently the only map not in control, as we are reworking the spawn and zone locations, but we hope to have it back soon. All of the maps will have standard weighting. Now, also coming in 8.0.5 are a couple of substantial changes we're making to two problematic systems that we hope will greatly improve the Crucible experience. Lobby balance. Lobby balancing has proven to be extraordinarily difficult puzzle to solve. Since Season 23 launch, we have been experimenting with the multiple different types of lobby balancing systems, including random, average skill, and a variant of Snake Draft, which is what we just talked about. While each of these three solutions has its own positives, none of them have done much to reduce the volume of feedback we get that lobby balance can feel unfair. AKA nobody likes to get pounded over and over. And let me just say this about lobby balance. I actually think regular 6v6 lobby balance, I can live with it. Iron Banner to me is the worst. And I don't know what variation of that balancing system is in comparison to regular 6v6. Now right here, random lobby balancing generates poor quality matches more than other methods. Snake Draft works well for all solo games, but doesn't handle fire teams well. And average skill works better for fire teams, but can lead to frustrating team compositions. We have built a new variant of Snake Draft that should handle fire teams better and we'll be rolling out in 8.0.5 as we continue to look for the optimal solution to lobby balance. Our internal tests have been quite promising, but we don't believe we're done iterating on lobby balance either. It's an ongoing battle to ride the line between pure fairness in terms of outcome and making sure that each player in the game has someone other on the other team that they can compete with head to head. We'll continue to monitor the results of these changes. We also plan to share a deeper dive into how we approach lobby balancing in a future article. All right, here's what I don't like. I'm completely fine losing 5, 6, 7 games in a row. Like, I don't necessarily like it, but if there are 5, 6, 7 close games and we have a fighting chance and we lose by, 10, 15 points, whatever. All right, so be it. It's not about that. What I dislike, what I hate the most, especially in Iron Banner, is when we mercy a team and then we get mercy. You literally get back-to-back games of mercy, get mercy, mercy, get mercy, where majority of your time is spent just getting into the game. I can't stand blowouts, dude. I know on the statistical side, it looks good because it's like, oh, here's this player. They have a 50% win rate, right? Or whatever win rate they want people to have. And it looks good, but that's because you just blew a team out and then got blown out right afterwards. That, to me, that's the worst lobby balance system. And it seems to be most persistent in Iron Banner for some reason. All right, quitters. Our second major topic ties and a lot to the one above because quitters can throw a whole wrench into any lobby balancing equation. As it stands currently, quitting has become something of an epidemic, especially in modes like Control and Iron Banner, but it's even negatively affecting trials and the competitive as well. In our 6v6 playlists, we've seen an uptick in quitting across the board over the last several months, stemming in large part from higher skilled players who find themselves joining and then quitting to search for easier matches. You pieces of shit. I can't. What do you all like load into a match and like, oh no, everyone's elo is silver. I'm looking for bronze only, and then you back out. The problem with this are twofold. If they are one of the higher skilled players on the team, the lobby has been balanced around their presence. When they leave, it puts their team at a significant disadvantage. It forces us to try to pull this player to join an in-progress game. And it's unlikely we can find a player who matches the same skill profile, which means when that player joins a game that has already started, they are also at a disadvantage. You know what Bungie should really do in this situation? Bungie, you should come out with an AI version of Benny. And then what happens is if that player quits, AI Benny drops in and just starts blasting. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like that would fix a lot of these issues. But also that doesn't fix the issue of the player that's quitting, right? If this was an isolated incident, it would be one thing. But unfortunately, there are a number of players who are habitual quitters, leaving more than 30% of their total games, which causes a serious negative impact on the remaining players in the games. A limitation of our current quitter penalty is that we cannot make it too stringent because we want to avoid punishing players who experience random error codes or who need to leave a game occasionally for a valid reason. So to keep those players in mind while also better addressing the quitter issue, we have completely rebuilt the quitter penalty. If you play a long string of games without quitting, the game will place you in good standing and be lenient if you occasionally get disconnected or must leave a game. However, if you habitually quit in a high percent of your games, you will be placed into probationary status. And if you continue to leave games, it will result in escalating timeouts from Crucible for every match left. For normal players, this should result in less frustrating instances of being booted from a match and getting timed out. But high volume quitters will find the system far less forgiving. The initial values for good standing and probationary statuses are also tunable, so if we find it to be too strict or too lenient, we can quickly adjust to smooth out the experience. That's good, Bungie, but here's the thing. I would honestly say this. I think you should let them back in the game. Let them quit. But once they've quit more than 2 matches, every game they get into for the next 10 hours, they will always do 50% more or 50% less damage, and they will take 50% more damage and then take away their right to quit. Oh, even better. Hold on. They join back. They're doing 50% less damage. They're like, dude, why am I getting killed? Why am I getting one tapped? And then they go, I'm quitting this. They try to quit. They go to quit, and the go to orbit button's not even there. They can't even change characters. They try to log out. They freaking close Destiny down. No, their character is still there. We will farm that guy's character match over match. That elo be going down, baby. You thought you were in diamond. You're gonna wake up tomorrow and barely even silver, maybe bronze. Anyways, guys, just don't quit. But obviously, I feel like Bungie needs. I mean, we need something else here. You need shame. Like, I feel like shame is a great incentive. Somebody quits, I think their title should be put up next to their name. Be like, Les the Quitter, you know, right there, right there. And he has to wear that title for the next like week or something. All right, let's continue. Now, abilities. In 8.0.5, we're changing 2 Prismatic Hunter abilities to address community feedback about Prismatic Hunter performance in the Crucible. The goal of these changes is to reduce frustration around playing against Prismatic Hunters without negatively affecting their performance in PvE content. Here are the changes. Threaded Spectre. Reduce aim assist strength on Threaded Spectre by 50% versus players and added a short delay before the aim assist takes effect. Reduce Threaded Spectre detonation damage versus players by 45%. Swarm Grenade. Reduce the distance that Swarm Grenade submunition projectiles can travel once they begin tracking a target by 20%. We'll continue to monitor Crucible feedback and data throughout this release, and we'll make additional adjustments if necessary. Check back next week for a more in-depth look at weapon and armor changes coming in 8.0.5. We'll see how this ability change works out. Hopefully it fixes some of the meta splits right now. Now, special ammo economy. Back in May, we discussed the changes we were making to the special ammo economy in PvP and detailed a new system referred to as the blended system that we were going to be moving towards. In this system, you receive 1 kill's worth of special ammo on spawn, 1 kill's worth from crates, and primary weapon final blows drop a brick with 1 kill's worth. The blended system has now been out in most game modes, and we wanted to detail how it's performing compared to the previous systems. All right. We have a really big chart here. Okay, hold on. This is actually important. Shotgun, percentage of kills, 47%. Respawn original. Meter, 2 kills per pool, 76%, 66%, 59%. Blended, 64%. Good God. Look what fusion and sniper rifles used to be. They used to be 43%. Now, here's the thing. Shotguns went substantially up with the meter 2 kills per pool. I mean, 76% is a lot. Sniper rifles fell a lot. Now, sniper rifles have gone up and fusion rifles have gone up 24%. Shotguns are around 64% in this blended mode. And then it says all of the special percentage of kills. All right. Now, as you can see, the amount of special ammo has gone up slightly compared to the meter and crate system, but it's still down significantly from where it was in the old respawn system. In addition, shotguns are less egregious outliers compared to other iterations of the meter, although they are not as in ban as they were with either the respawn or crate system. The delta between usage for high and low skill players has similarly been reduced to a more acceptable level. Moving forward, the blended system will be the default system for Crucible until we have completed the rebuild of the ammo meter, a process which is extremely complex but is well underway. We will provide an update in the future when we know more about a potential release timeline. Soon, we will be swapping trials over to the blended system, not the system that was accidentally activated last weekend where you retain ammo between rounds. Yes, there's a lot of special. And the prototype meter will be fully deprecated from our core Crucible experience. We will, however, continue to allow the meter to be selected as an ammo option in private matches and to be used as the default ammo system for the checkmate game mode when it appears in a rotator. All right. So if you remember pre-final shape, guys, we had a meter. It would fill up on kills, assists, other things, even deaths, right? And when that meter filled up, you would get ammo. I really liked it. However, for some reason, it caused some issues. I think there were some inventory issues. Something. What did they say, guys? What did they say the meter system called? It was like some conflict. No. It wasn't. It was a technical confliction. It wasn't because the meter was a problem. There was a technical confliction in game, and that's why they had to remove it to rework it. Yeah, I like the meter system too. I think the meter system is the better system. And you know, even right here where the meter was 66% for shotgun kills, I would be more interested to see like just what was primary, or so percentage of kills by special weapons. So there you go, 13.3%. So yes, the split between shotguns and other special weapons is weighted more towards shotguns. But this is the number that I like the most, is that 13.3% of kills were special weapon kills. All right, now trials. Since Season 21, we've made some substantial changes to trials that have had a positive effect on the playlist. We've updated most of the passages, increased the post-game rewards substantially, provided bonus rewards for playing as a trio, and even added a weekly set of rewards that triggers when your card is initially flawed to help offset the sting of defeat. We've collected the changes below to help recap the full list of improvements currently in game that we made during that time. Passage updates. Wealth rewards extra trials rank on every win. The amount rewarded increases as a player's major rank increases. Persistence. Losses following a win will remove the win from a player's card. Consecutive losses do not remove additional wins. Getting to 7 wins grants a drop of the weekly adept weapon, regardless of how many losses the player has. Ferocity. If the player hasn't been flawless for the week, losses after 3 wins will reset them back to 3 wins instead of flawing their card. Reverts to the old behavior of granting a bonus win for the 3rd win once a player goes flawless. Now, Mercy. If a player hasn't been flawless for the week, 2 losses can be forgiven, reverts to its old behavior, forgiving a single loss once a player goes flawless. Right, okay. Now, reward updates. Any win has a 50% chance to drop the non-adept weekly weapon. Wow. Once you've been flawless and are playing on a 7-win card, you also have a 50% chance to drop the adept version of the weekly weapon on wins. When playing as a trio for game completions, does not have to be a win, you get an additional 50% chance to drop the non-adept weekly weapon, a 50% chance at a Trials Ingram drop, and bonus Trials reputation. Now, you can now get a bonus reward, including Trials Armor, Enhancement Cores, Trials Weapons, and Enhancement Prisms, based on how many wins you got before your card became flawed. Now, the above changes have helped keep the playlist in a healthier state than it has been in the past. It is some great changes. In particular, the Passage of Persistence changes combined with the Trios reward have had a noticeable effect, increasing the percentage of Trio games played by 30% and providing a small influx of more casual players. Still, we believe there is room for improvement. We want to more strongly encourage playing with friends. So, Passage of Persistence. When you play as a trio, we have updated the Passage of Persistence so that losses will no longer remove wins. This means when you play Trials as a full fire team on the Passage of Persistence, you only need to get 7 wins total, and you will receive a drop of the weekly adept weapon. Quitting a match will result in having a win subtracted. Okay, so if you quit, you will lose a win. You must complete the match for it to forgive the loss. Dude, that is... Okay. So you just jump into a fire team. You're rocking as a trio. You don't have any wins removed if you lose. And you just keep playing until you get to 7. And then you get the adept weapon. Then you don't go to the lighthouse. Remember, you only get the adept dropped here, amongst other rewards, right? So you're not technically going flawless. You're just getting the adept weapon, which is the whole reason why you would go flawless, right? Now, we still want to make Trials more rewarding for more players, or more kinds of players, but we'll have more details on this later. In the longer term, we're looking to bring more players into Trials by offering an alternative 3v3 experience that's more like Iron Banner, in terms of the loot chase not being mostly reliant on wins. We also want to make the challenger pool less of an all-or-nothing experience. We can lean on what we've started with the flawed cards rewards and further reward win streaks to make it feel like less of a waste of time if you fall at the gates, while still maintaining the exclusivity of the flawless rewards. All right, guys, here's the thing. What Passage Persistence really boils down to, TLDR, all you have to do, pick up the passage, get 7 wins. You can lose 1,000 games. As long as within those 1,000 games, you get 7 wins, you will get the adept drop for that week. What I'm actually more concerned about is teams of 3 that are just farming over and over in Trials now. You know, while these people are trying to go for their adept drop. I'm actually more concerned with that, but we'll see how it shakes out, because I know there's supposed to be some splits there in the pools, right? Now, competitive. Our ranked playlist has also received substantial changes over the last 6 months. To summarize, we've moved to rank-based matchmaking. This has had the side effect of increased matchmaking times at higher ranks, especially during off-peak hours or in low population regions, as there are far less available players to match with. We are monitoring the situation, and times are improving as the episode progresses and more players make their way to the higher ranks. Now, updated the way points are rewarded and penalized following wins and losses. We have clamped the variance of point rewards. You no longer lose extra points on losses if your skill is lower than your rank. If your skill is higher than your rank, you still get bonus points on wins and reduced penalties on losses. Interesting. And that changes game modes to Clash and Collision, added new tiers of weekly rewards and post-game Artifice Armor drops. A second tier of the competitive weekly challenge now rewards Ascended Alloys. A third tier of the competitive weekly challenge for players Gold 3 and above that rewards Artifice Armor, enables the ability to get Artifice Armor as a post-game drop reward for wins. The chance increases based on your highest earned rank this season in competitive, added competitive weapon focusing, and granted an increased chance to drop exotic weapon catalysts on victories in the competitive playlist. Now, these are things currently live in the game. I didn't realize this. If your skill is higher than your rank, you still get bonus points on wins and reduced penalties on losses. Now, with these updates, we feel the foundation of competitive playlist is solid. Following the release of the final shape, we just had the best 30-day stretch in over a year in terms of player participation. And specifically, this previous week was the highest hours played per account in the last 8 months. Since we have made a lot of changes recently, moving forward, we want to allow the playlist to stabilize and give players time to get used to this iteration. We plan to build on this foundation, further refine the game modes and rule sets, and allow it to be a place where you can see and feel your improvement and growth as a player. Now to start, in 8.0.5, we will reduce the score to win in class from 40 to 35 to bring game times closer to the 8-minute mark. In addition, we'll be updating the spawn policy in Collision to favor spawning you near teammates. We recently made this change to Clash, and we've seen the instance of split spawns go down dramatically and believe this will improve Collision similarly. Now, longer term, we have a couple of goals that we want to tackle. We think the point rewards for the ranking system, though improved, still need some work in terms of how understandable they can be. We'd like to move back to a system where players' performances match has more of a direct impact on how much you gain or how much you lose, and where each player can easily understand why they earned the amount they did at the end of each game. We also want to further improve Collision's gameplay, and we're investigating ways to make the matches feel fairer and more predictable. We'll share more on both goals later. Listen, I actually like competitive. We do our competitive grind each week. We mainly come back primarily because Riposte keeps dropping the worst rolls ever. But competitive has been fun. I've been enjoying it. Now, Iron Banner. To start, we have moved Tribute to the back burner for further improvements. While it was inspired by Halo Reach's popular Headhunter mode, we acknowledge and want to minimize some of the frustration that could stem from things like semi-random bank spawns and getting no progress from kills. Tribute will not return until we can improve it enough to make a noticeable difference. In the meantime, Iron Banner will rotate between Control, Fortress, and Eruption. Okay, those are good. I like those. We've also made changes to the matchmaking reward structures of Iron Banner. So rewards, wins now guarantee a drop of a random Iron Banner weapon and a very high chance of an Iron Banner Ingram. Game completions also offer an improved drop rate for weapons and Ingrams. Now, matchmaking. Earlier this year, loose skill-based matchmaking was deprecated in favor of the same outlier protection system utilized in Control. This provides us with many of the same benefits without impacting matchmaking times or connection quality. For a more in-depth explanation of the different matchmaking systems, see our earlier update. Now, to clarify a recent fix, during Tribute Week, we made a change that was not to the matchmaking parameters themselves. We had to correct an issue in a separate setting called Skill Variance, which determines how quickly a player's skill can update and by what amount. This value was erroneously set too low, and it was causing players to become trapped at whatever skill they started Iron Banner at, and was preventing players' skills from updating as intended. Okay? Now, fireteam-based matchmaking. Last year, we made a change that softened the search parameters for larger fire teams to speed up matchmaking times and reduce massive skill disparities between the match teams. This change has been successful, and we've seen matchmaking prefer similarly sized fire teams with the smaller skill disparities over the same size fire teams with larger ones, without negatively impacting solos and smaller fire teams. Now, previously, 6-player fire teams match other 6-player fire teams 95.3% of the time. That has been reduced to 51.4%, and they now match other larger fire teams 44.1% of the time, smaller fire teams 2.5% of the games, and solos 2.1%. Solo players will only go up against 6-player fire teams 0.3% of the time, or 1 in every 333 games. Okay? And they continue to match only other solos or duos 81.5% of their games, up from 80%. All right, that's good. I will say, how many of you end up in a team, like you're a solo player and you're with a team of 5 and you're against a solo player and another team of 5? And like, I mean, that's technically balance, but the other team of 5 is always like just gamers, dude, and they just go in on you. Now, looking at the chart below showing Iron Banner participation over the last 4 years, you can see that since we moved away from purely random matchmaking in the fall of 2022, our participation peaks have generally increased, and our troughs are higher too. The current outlier protection system, when the skill variance setting is correct, paired with the fire team matchmaking, represents a strong balance between allowing high skill players and larger fire teams to succeed, while promoting variability in match feel without making newer and lower skill players, solo players, and small fire teams feel completely like fodder. Okay, so we're getting almost higher highs, but also lower highs. That said, we still believe there is more work to be done to improve the Iron Banner experience, especially for casual and mixed skill fire teams. We'd like to investigate offering a more relaxed variant of Iron Banner with minimum matchmaking stratification and a focus on the less serious game modes. We also want to be able to reward fire teams better in general, like we've begun to do in Trials. Now, facing the future, we'll have a lot more to talk about later this season in terms of what, oh my God, later this episode, in terms of what is coming in our second episode and beyond. And we're excited to share that with you once 8.0.5 is out the door. All right, now exotic class item drop tuning update. Oh boy. The final shape introduced new exotic class items that can roll with some awesome perk combinations that enhance your prismatic builds. This has made them a highly sought after reward. And we've seen feedback from players that it's currently difficult to get enough drops to target the rolls that you want. To address this, we're currently targeting the following changes for early August. Increasing chances for drops when opening overthrow chests. As you open chests tied to overthrow activities, your chances will increase. Higher tier chests give bigger increases to drop chances. This should decrease the amount of time it takes on average to get an exotic class item, but we'll be watching the feedback and tuning further if necessary. Also, reducing chances from unrelated pale heart chests and free roam to encourage overthrow participation. Macro is dead, isn't it? Man. Son of a bitch. It's over. Dude, they just killed our macro farm. Increased chances stored up from overthrow chests applying to lost sectors and co-op missions that take place in the pale hearts. Wow, so you get an increased chance at stores when you open those overthrow chests. And then you could run into a lost sector or then a co-op mission within the pale heart. Interesting. Additionally, we are adding a weekly challenge to Dual Destiny. Players will be able to earn one additional exotic class item when completing this activity per week per character. Subsequent completions will function normally. We are also aware of player feedback concerning the desire for these exotics to come from more activity outside of the Pale Heart. Many thanks to all who've given feedback. We'll continue to monitor after the above mentioned changes go live. All right. Okay, listen. We'll just have to see, man. We're going to have to see exactly what the drop chances are like from overthrow. You do Dual Destiny 3 times a week, one each character. You get 2 drops per. You know, doesn't seem like there's anything that's combating duplicate protection, which was the big thing that we wanted. But we'll just have to check. We'll have to check overthrow activities. I think the big one right here is reducing chances from unrelated pale heart chests and free roam to encourage overthrow participation. I mean, if we just look at this, that's killing macros, right? That's killing the macro farm. Look, we'll just have this is one of those things we just have to see it rather than just check it when it goes live and just see what those drops are like. And I personally, I'm at like 34, around 30 to 34 on each class of exotic class combinations. And my biggest issue right now is I just keep running into dupes, dude, over and over. But we'll see how this plays out. And I feel like eventually Bungie's going to get around to probably introducing duplicate protection, but we'll see. Now, Brave Arsenal Weapon Attunement is back. During Destiny 2 Into the Light, players could attune to Brave Arsenal Weapons in the Hall of Champions to improve a target weapon's drop chance. We're ready to introduce a new way to attune to Brave Arsenal Weapons from Onslaught. Ooh. In Update 8.0.5, players can visit the Vala in the tower to access a new Onslaught Attunement menu. From there, players can select a single Brave Arsenal weapon they like to attune to, increasing the drop chance by 60% in Onslaught. This is an increase from the 50% drop chance increase in the Into the Light attunement system provided. There is no cooldown or cost, so you can swap your chosen weapon at any time, and your selected weapon will remain attuned until you change it or deactivate the attunement. If you're chasing the elusive Brave Arsenal God roll, now is the perfect time to jump in and try your luck. We're checking out your feedback, so let us know how the new system feels. Wait! Okay. I thought they were meaning shiny. I thought they were saying shinies. No shinies, man. No shinies, guys. This is just for the weapons themselves. All right. Destiny Art Shows. It's an art show a decade in the making. Join us in Los Angeles, New York, and London for celebration of the Destiny universe, featuring over 30 pieces of original art, including paintings, ghost sculptures, props, and more. A must-see experience for fans of all ages. Entry is free. Just be sure to keep an eye out on our socials next week for the page link to reserve your spot. Very nice. Very nice. Also, the Bungie Foundation tournament finale live stream that's actually going on literally right now. And they've got all kinds of incentives. It's an amazing tournament. We'll have links to all of that as well, guys, if you want to go check it out. We were just watching it. It's a lot of fun. Some Bungie Rewards. Here we go. Bungie Rewards Captain Jacobson pin. Oh, my God. The new research specimen aboard the helm feels less like a specimen and more like our new amphibious crew member. It's fail-safe new best friend, the adorable little frog, Captain Jacobson. And while the frogs and nests can be quite deadly, don't let that deter you from giving Captain Jacobson your love and affection. Guardians that give our new friend a gentle pet will earn the spiritual success or triumph and unlock access to the new Captain Jacobson pin. No lie, the story was actually, it's good. If you have not played it, just play Act 2 this week. It's pretty damn funny. Now, build of the week. Last week, we asked you to submit your favorite build for a hashtag build of the week so that we could pick our favorites to share over the next few weeks. This week, we've got a fun solar build from Rest Assured on X, aptly named Infinite Ignitions V2. Oh my God. We literally just played with this build yesterday. This is the build that other guy stole and put it in the build battle submission. That's wild. What is this? Cayde-6 Blooper? You see now combat team has fun with the Gala Corgi. Now see the cinematics team keep the spirit light with this never before seen blooper from the final shape. Oh, we got to see. Hold on. We got to watch this. Let me. Oh my God. All right. I was expecting like voice bloopers. All right, free strange coins. Release of update 8.0.7 last week. An issue was introduced with a strange favor buff is now providing bonus strange coins when completing ritual activities. As a resolution to this issue, all players will be able to claim 47 free strange coins from Xur, Agent of the Night, when he appears in a tower. This is a one-time bundle for each account and will be available to claim until August 27th. You must have 52 strange coins or less to acquire this bundle of coins. Now, these are some known issues. Let's look at them. Oh, Enigma Protocol and some battlegrounds do not grant progress toward the first step in the Specimen ID NES 004 quest to open chests at the end of the Echo's activities. Okay. On rare occasions, the witness cannot be killed in the Salvation's Edge raid after depleting its health, soft blocking the activity. Players may need to return to orbit and relaunch the activity to circumvent the soft block. Nice. Nice. All right. That's pretty much it. I don't see anything else that's really jumping out to me right now. As a final note here from Bungie this week, that's everything we have for this week. If you haven't met Captain Jacobson yet, make sure to pick up NES 005 quest from Failsafe to bring our new friend on board. You'll also unlock weapon focusing for the Aberrant action and creation in the process. We'll be back next week with a look at Solstice and a preview of the weapons and armor tuning updates in Update 8.0.5, the Destiny 2 community team. All right, guys. Good TWAB, man. A lot of information, maybe some context that you guys may not care about, but as someone who plays, PvP as well as PvE, I like getting this kind of information. It's good. It's good stuff.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.